If your so-called God is a humanoid, then I guess I have no question to ask you if there is a creator. Well, then I believe there is one, because the entire structure of this world is not random. Mr. Young, as a prominent figure in the theoretical physics community, his words were truly heart-stirring. The ancients sat around the fire, close together, leaning on each other. The night sky stretched infinitely, like a canopy covered in stars. An elder pointed towards the horizon. The others followed his gaze, watching as he traced shapes in the sky. For these early humans, the sky was more than just empty space. It's like an existence full of unknown patterns. They did it in the most primitive way. They posed a question that has spanned centuries. What is the origin of all this? Mainstream science today believes that the universe began with a state of extreme density and temperature. And the theory of the Big Bang describes the process of space-time expansion. But who exactly triggered this explosion? A human with 30 trillion cells. How did it all come together? The brilliant mind and beating heart. What kind of miracles do they create together? The sun, the moon. How do natural phenomena like animals and plants form? About the origin of the universe. Different cultures and scientific systems have offered a variety of explanations. Among them, one theory stands out. Some believe the birth of the universe may have been the work of a creator. But what exactly is this creator? And is it possible to find evidence of its existence somewhere in the universe? This leads to the next question. If there is indeed a creator, whether a divine being or a cosmic principle, where did it come from? And who created the creator? Does he come from some kind of more powerful force? Or does he exist beyond the laws of cause and effect forever? For hundreds of years, humans have been seeking answers from theology and science. We search in classic literature for the Creator's trace, and also in the deep universe for the elusive truth we seek. Whether it's constructing research institutions, let's fire up the telescope. It's all in pursuit of that eternal, unchanging answer. Maybe the answer lies within the universe itself. Those strange phenomena like black holes, dark matter explosions, are they revealing the origins of existence to us? On this journey to explore the origins of the universe, will we be led to the edge of the cosmos and even farther into unknown territories? If we truly discover traces of the Creator, what kind of scene will that be? George, early life of Limit was filled with a kind of reserved yet firm determination. In Belgium, he grew up in an era increasingly obsessed with scientific technology. When Emmett was studying at Leuven University, he was passionate about scientific exploration. He believed studying the universe is all about uncovering the laws of nature. He truly believes that, no matter how truth is revealed. The ultimate law is one of unity. For him, that's what it's all about. Delving into the universe, reverence and curiosity towards the cosmic order. It's worth noting, he is passionate about scientific exploration, in the process of unraveling the mysteries of the universe, always kept that deep, thoughtful spirit alive, open to questioning and reflection, never blindly accepted ready-made answers. In that era, Emma roamed between ancient spiritual realms and the world of science. In the history of science, the theories of Galileo and Copernicus once sparked a re-examination of the universe, reflected a dialogue and clash of different belief systems. But Emmett has a completely different perspective. He believes that science is a way to understand reality, helping humanity uncover the workings of the universe. By exploring science, we not only understand nature, but also its laws. We gain a greater love and hope for life. His approach is delicate and thoughtful. Based on such a belief, one truth can illuminate another truth. It's this belief that drove him to make one of the most profound scientific discoveries of the 20th century. One of the discoveries in the early 1920s. At that time, it was widely believed that the universe was static and eternal. Many famous scientists believed that the universe had no beginning and no end. It seemed to be in a constant state. Of this steady-state universe, kind of comforting in a way, because he hinted at a world without a creator. Along with many scientists in the Enlightenment, the secular views that followed. Coincidentally, however, Lemaitre had a different perspective. After delving deep into cosmology, he began to focus on Einstein's general theory of relativity. The fabric of space-time is warping. Within the equation, he saw potential others overlooked. Maybe the universe isn't static. It's expanding dynamically. If true, then the past universe must have been more compact, possibly condensed into a tiny point. His mind quickly jumped to a staggering conclusion. If the universe had a starting point, a single moment, all time and space, energy and matter, emerge from that infinitely dense point, it can be said that the universe has no yesterday. This is not just a scientific hypothesis, but carries profound philosophical implications. This theory describes the universe expanding from an extremely high-density state. Different stories from early humans about the origin of the universe creates an interesting contrast. Initially, Lemaitre was cautious in presenting this idea, knowing it would provoke intense scrutiny. In 1927, he published a paper suggesting the universe is expanding its current state, tracing back to a single explosive origin. Despite his groundbreaking work, it also faced significant resistance. Even Einstein initially refused to accept this view. It is said that he once told Lemaitre, "Your calculations are correct, but your physics is just terrible." This resistance is not surprising, because accepting the concept of a finite beginning to the universe provides room for philosophical exploration. It challenges the scientific assumptions of a traditional steady-state universe. Yet Lemaitre never gave up. He kept refining his theory, gathering more evidence, and as time went on, building mathematical models to support his ideas. With new observational results, slowly confirming the concept of cosmic expansion, the scientific community's view of him also began to change. In 1929, American astronomer Edwin Hubble's key discovery: stars are generally moving away from each other, providing concrete evidence for the expanding universe. This supports Lemaitre's theory laying down a solid foundation. Ironically, the term Big Bang was initially proposed by astronomer Fred Hoyle on a whim. He staunchly opposed this theory. However, as more and more evidence supports this viewpoint, that name and theory ended up being preserved after all. And in the mid-20th century, it became the mainstream model for explaining the origin of the universe. For Lemmet, this was not just a huge scientific breakthrough, but also confirmed his belief that science and philosophy can complement each other. He didn't try to use the Big Bang to prove some kind of ultimate, existential necessity. Instead, he saw it as a way to understand the evolution of the universe. He's careful to maintain a scientific approach. His proximity to philosophical debates is crystal clear. But his discoveries deepened his exploration of the origins of the universe. Belief drives him to continue his research in the fields of science and philosophy. Lemmet in 1927 first proposed the theory of cosmic expansion. About 40 years later, Stephen Hawking completed his doctoral research on the origin of the universe at Cambridge University. Doctoral research on the origin of the universe. Since ancient times, this question has puzzled countless scholars. As a cosmologist of the 20th century, Eddington's research pushed the scientific community to re-examine the origin of the universe. It also reflected the richness of the intersection between science and the humanities. As for Huygens, his path of exploration took a very different turn, but in different directions. When he proposed the limitless model 20 years later, his view on the existence of the original, it sharply contrasts with the predecessors. Hawking's personal manager and his theories alike, full of complexity. In 1963, at just 21 years old, he was diagnosed with muscular atrophy, toilet stamp syndrome. This is a condition that doctors consider. It's a deadly disease that'll only give him a few years to live. The battle against fate not only turned his life upside down, but also completely shattered our understanding of the universe. Hawking's theoretical model tends to stem from natural laws, explaining the origin of the universe, advocating for the self-sufficiency of physical laws. His boundaryless theory is one of his most grandiose ideas, aimed at exploring the fundamental questions of the universe's origin. To understand this theory, you have to delve deep into the structure of space and time. Based on Einstein's theory of general relativity, gravity is not just a force. It's a distortion of space-time caused by mass and energy. Under extreme conditions, such as near a black hole or at the moment of the Big Bang, this distortion becomes so intense that traditional physics no longer applies. Hawking made significant contributions to black hole research. She made a significant contribution. He showed that black holes aren't completely dark. They actually emit energy. This phenomenon is now known as Hawking radiation. This discovery sparked his further contemplation on the origins of the universe. Emmett once described the universe expanding from incredibly dense starting point. While Hawking sought to explore, can the universe ever truly be, avoiding this starting point? Working with James Hartley, Hawking proposed the no-boundary model. This is a theory based on quantum mechanics, principles to construct. In this model, the universe didn't start from a single point, but from a light, smooth and finite state. Just imagine for a moment, as you head north, you will eventually reach the North Pole. But the North Pole is not the edge or limit of the Earth. It's just a concept of north. a place where meaning is lost. Similarly, in Hawking's model, time at the origin of the universe behaves like spatial dimensions. Going back to the past won't hit any boundaries or starting point. It's more about presenting a smooth flow, with curved geometric shapes, blending naturally with space. Hawking borrowed the concept of time as a main need in mathematics to explain this transformation, viewing time as a dimension similar to space. Just as he said, this kind of universe has no clear beginning, nor an end. And unlike the traditional belief that the universe has a clear, the real point is completely different. In a brief history of time, he described how the universe follows the laws of quantum mechanics, spontaneously generated. This idea profoundly influenced his view of the universe and the role of the creator. Hawking proposed within the framework of quantum gravity theory. The universe may have spontaneously formed through quantum control. The conditions on the edge are determined by the laws of physics. No need to preset external initial conditions. He believes it's natural laws like gravity that allow the universe to spontaneously emerge from nothing. The universe arises from the grasp of the child. To him, it's boundless. The beauty of the boundary hypothesis lies in its self-sufficiency. He described a universe completely governed by the laws of physics. These rules, naturally and inevitably, stem from the basic principles of quantum mechanics. Yet not everyone fully embraces Hawking's idea of the universe creating itself. Some have pointed out he relies on physics, laws to explain the origin of the universe, but still leaves behind a perplexing mystery. Where did these laws ultimately come from? How do they manage to operate in such an orderly way so that life can exist? If we compare the universe to a massive machine, even the most advanced machine still needs a designer to set the rules. From this perspective, Hawking's theory doesn't seem to completely eliminate the need for deeper explanations. It just takes the inner sense of mystery to a higher level. In 2010, Hawking proposed in the grand design, quantum mastery may exist under boundaryless conditions, prompting the spontaneous evolution of the universe. This bold assertion has sparked widespread debate in the scientific and philosophical communities. Among them, Oxford University mathematician and philosopher of science John Lennox believes that Hawking's explanation still leaves some key questions unanswered. John Lemuel was born in 1943 in Northern Ireland. When Lennox encountered Hawking, when he proposed the argument that the universe can create itself, he believed that this argument went beyond the scope of traditional philosophy and delved into the fundamental issues of logic. Hawking advocated for physical laws, especially neutrality, that could spontaneously bring the universe into being from nothing. But in the eyes of laybucks, this assertion is self-contradictory. If before creation the universe was truly nothing, then those physical laws themselves already presuppose some form of existence, rather than absolute nothingness. Lennox pointed out, laws do not exist in isolation. They are simply used to describe, needing a physical foundation, the process of unleashing one's potential. Let me give you an example. The law of gravity. It can explain how mass interacts in space. But without substance and space-time as a foundation, gravity loses its meaning. He believes to take the laws of physics as the canopy of the universe It's like claiming a plane without a manufacturer. It's like something out of thin air. These laws, only under specific circumstances, describe how things change without actually creating those conditions. Relies on quantum mechanics for Hawking to explain the origins of the universe. Lennox also put forth a theory. He believes that despite the infinite proposal, it offers a mathematical perspective, clever solution, but he still relies on pre-existing, specific laws-controlled quantum states. Although this model avoids the appearance of the starting point, but it does not eliminate the reliance on initial conditions. In other words, explaining the origin of the universe with quantum booms, just delaying the problem is ridiculous. Why is this one Bohm function? What determines his specific form? In Lemieux's view, the model of fire and gold did not touch on deeper issues. Why there is light instead of darkness. He believes that this issue is actually an infinite problem of return, explaining the existence of the universe based solely on natural laws always seems to require introducing more fundamental laws. Or do these require further investigation? If the universe originated from quantum vacuum, then we must ask, how did the physical laws governing quantum vacuum come into being? If we see these laws as vividly existing, their own origins still need explanation. Lennox believes this series of questions cannot be confined to the internal universe system, but point towards deeper scientific exploration. He's using British philosophy to make his point. In the realm of science and philosophy, one basic principle is that every effect must have a cause. Hawking suggests the universe may have originated spontaneously. But in Lennox's view, this theory still requires further explanation of the conditions for existence. This is a crucial topic in scientific exploration. Similarly, to let the universe self-create. He just has to exist before he doesn't exist. That's clearly a logical contradiction. Like trying to pull yourself out of a non-existent blanket with your own hair is like trying to pull yourself up from a non-existent rug into existence. Considering the true meaning of filth, there is absolutely no space for extreme non-existence. Absolute void of time, energy, or rules. This issue becomes even more apparent. The absolute physical void lacks the conditions that trigger spontaneous events. Therefore, the hypothesis of something from nothing in the universe faces a logical dilemma. This reasoning implies the necessity of an external cause before the formation of the universe. There must have been some uncaused cause, some sort of reality beyond the laws and limitations of our an independent, fundamental reality. The hypothesis of a soundless sound as the foundation of existence. Exploring ontology from classical philosophy. Studying the necessary conditions for modern cosmology. Always at the heart of the debate over origins. This independent existence is unlike anything else. He doesn't need to explain any further, only as the ultimate source of all existence. This view challenges the self-sufficiency of the universe, the idea of self-explanation, suggesting that the universe is not a closed system, but rather pointing towards some initial conditions beyond current understanding. The intricate workings of the laws of nature, the precise control of physical constants, and our ability to observe these phenomena all seem to hint at some deeper level. A reality unrestricted by time and space. It's all about space and time. The fundamental reasons they come into being. Further illustrating this point, maybe we should consider what makes the universe a surprisingly fine balance suitable for the existence of life. Whether it's subatomic particles or the operation of massive galaxies, they all follow precisely tuned natural laws. Any slight deviation could render the universe uninhabitable. For example, the gravitational constant determines the attraction between matter. If gravity were slightly stronger, stars would burn out too quickly, fuel, and explore towards the black hole. If a slightly weaker star, it won't ignite. The universe will fall into eternal darkness and cold. Similar electromagnetic forces control charged particles, interactions between particles, directly impacting molecule formation and chemical reactions. Fine-tuning the mass of protons determines the nuclear reactions inside a star, thus affecting the creation of carbon and oxygen, and the production of essential elements for life. Even the constants of cosmology are precise to the extreme. If the expansion happens too quickly, matter disperses before it can coalesce into galaxies. If the expansion is too slow, the universe will collapse back onto itself. All these constants are in an incredibly delicate balance. It's like the universe is teetering on a knife's edge, delicately controlled, to allow for the emergence of complex structures and even life. Another impressive example is the huge force of strength and power. This force binds the protons and neutrons in the nucleus closely together. If this force is slightly weaker, the atomic nucleus cannot remain stable. There might be only single hydrogen elements left in the universe. On the other hand, if it's slightly stronger, stars would burn through their fuel too quickly. The possibility of life existing would also be affected. Of course, it doesn't exist. The special combination of these physical constants raises questions. The cosmic parameters for the existence of knowledge life. Why is it right on the threshold? This irreconcilable coincidence. It's what they call the fine-tuning problem. For decades, it has fascinated physicists and philosophers alike. Some scientists like Max Tucker suggest that maybe our universe, just one of many universes out there. Every universe has its own set of rules and narratives. However, the multiverse theory is one of the theories that the scientific community uses to address economic regulation issues. Its verification depends on advancements in future observation technology. The intricate balance and complex have sparked a myriad of discussions in the scientific community about its origin, including the self-regulating nature of natural laws, quantum factory theory, etc. The renowned astrophysicist Sir Martin Rees. He believes the emergence of life is not purely accidental, but is based on extremely specific conditions. Rees and other cosmologists all emphasize the intricate structure of the universe cannot be explained solely by chance and requires a deeper scientific exploration. Proposed by Paul Davies, the laws of the universe could possess profound principles beyond. He believes in the precision of natural laws, could imply some kind of transcendent organizational principle beyond the universe. This line of thinking highlights the incredibly precise legal system of the universe and the ability to create conditions for the evolution of life. All point to something that is not just a coincidence. In reality, astonishingly fine-tuned issue. There are many theories about the origin of the universe that have sparked debate. These include scientific models and philosophical ponderings. As our understanding of the universe deepens, we discover its delicate balance. Even the slightest change could mean the end of life as we know it. This undoubtedly suggests that the universe was created with a purpose. In other words, the specific values of the physical constants in the universe. This sparked scientific discussions about the mechanisms of cosmic evolution, including the multiverse hypothesis and theories like the anthropic principle. These studies are all based on the internal consistency of natural laws. Francis Collins, a physician and geneticist, once served as director of the U.S. National Institutes of Health. He is well known for leading the Human Genome Project. Besides his outstanding scientific contributions, Klink openly discussed the intersection of science and humanities, emphasizing the exploration of the mysteries of the universe requires a multidimensional perspective. He believed the precise control of the universe reflects the intricacy and complexity of natural laws. He once argued the structure of DNA, the complexity of life, as well as astrophysics, are all not blind accidents of delicate balance. It's not just a reflection of the laws of nature being finely tuned. From Berger, Sir Pemberton to scholars like Alan Guss, all agree the extraordinary precision displayed by the universe. For example, the probability of existing as it does is extremely low, and the universe is in such an astonishingly fine-tuned state. It couldn't have come about by mere chance. The delicate balance of the physical constants in the universe. This has sparked a debate in the scientific community about. Let's dive deep into the origins question. Like the theory of multiple universes, for example, or the self-regulating nature of natural laws. However, despite the increasing evidence of existence, a perplexity remains for the creator. If the universe needs a creator, then who created that creator? This question lies at the heart of the value problem. This question might seem simple, but it actually delves into what we call the infinite regression paradox. At the core of the infinite regression problem lies causality, the effectiveness of causality. One of the fundamental assumptions of scientific research is the existence of causal relationships between phenomena. It's precisely this chain of cause and effect that forms the basis for us to explain everything from atomic motion to cosmic events. However, when this thread is applied to the origin of the universe, we face an insurmountable dilemma. Imagine a simple pool table. The ball's lined up. You pick up the cue stick. Give the first ball a hard whack. Then the force is passed on, creating a chain reaction. Every action can be traced back to a previous cause, from striking the ball to the swing of the cue. But if someone were to ask, what makes the cue stick start moving? The answer is your arm swinging. And if we go further to ask, what makes your arm move? It leads to a deeper chain of causality. Continuing to question like this, we fall into an endless loop, finding it difficult to locate the ultimate starting point. Applying this concept to the universe itself, from the formation of stars to the evolution of everything. Every phenomenon depends on its antecedents. So the source of the initial conditions becomes the central issue. According to the law of causality, everything really must have an explanation. But if each cause depends on another before it, then how can we find the very beginning? If you keep asking questions constantly, you'll end up trapped in an endless loop, unable to ever find that first note. The Big Bang Theory is often cited as evidence for the beginning of the universe, but it also raises a question. What triggered the Big Bang? And what provided the conditions for the Big Bang to occur? And if the chain of cause and effect has no endpoint, then this chain It seems like there's no real discrimination going on. For certain philosophical viewpoints, this argument proposes, if some kind of primal force is the origin of everything, then what is the source of this force itself? While this question may make sense logically, it also reflects the limitations of human thinking beyond the dimensions of time and space, faced during the process of seeking answers. Let's start focusing on the concept of inevitability. This idea stems from ancient philosophy. It argues that not everything has to have a reason. Most mistakes in the universe happen by chance. A tree relies on sunlight, water, and soil. A planet relies on gravity and physical laws. But if everything is just by chance, that means there are some existences without a solid foundation. Under the feet, one who must exist is self-sustaining, not relying on external factors. It's also known as the sound of silence. To further explain the solution to infinite regression, there are also some undeducible things in the field of science and fundamental laws, such as the laws of thermodynamics in physics, describing energy conservation and entropy increase rules. These rules are considered the cornerstone of physical reality. They cannot be deduced from a deeper level. Just like the concept of infinite unions in mathematics, though they cannot be completely explained, they are crucial for constructing mathematical systems. These examples show that some fundamental truths may transcend simple causal reasoning. The argument for infinite regression typically assumes the existence of an endless chain of time. Keep tracing back. But modern cosmology suggests time seems to have a starting point. Space-time was born in the Big Bang. If time itself began at the moment of the explosion, then the familiar laws of cause and effect might not apply to the state of the universe before its existence. This relates to the Creator in philosophy, existing beyond the dimension of time. The idea of being the essence of time and space aligns perfectly. Putting all these thoughts together, endless loops of theories should not be seen as a flaw in logic, but rather a window into the ultimate nature of reality. The question of who created the Creator seems natural, but he mistakenly placed the Creator within the same causal framework as the universe. If the Creator forms the foundation of the space-time framework, so asking about the origin of the Creator loses its physical meaning. It's like discussing time before time began. Scientific exploration constantly reveals the laws governing the universe's operations. But when it comes to the ultimate origin, there are still many different theories. Some people believe suggesting the Creator as the sound of silence is actually avoiding the question. It's more about avoiding the real issue. The critics ask, why must British training end with the Creator? Why can't we consider that the universe itself is a necessary corpse? The Scottish Enlightenment philosopher David Hume once questioned whether the observed local causal relationships can be extended to the reasonable origin of the entire universe. Hume pointed out, our understanding of cause and effect, just from experience, but we haven't directly experienced the process of cosmic creation. So any claims about its origins, including the existence of a Creator, are bound to be speculative. Hume's skepticism further shakes the foundation, returning to those assumptions. The premise of causality that Puget uses. From a scientific perspective, some theories trying to explain this paradox without the need for a base model, such as events in quantum mechanics, phenomena that occur without a specific reason. Some cosmological theories, like the multiverse hypothesis, suggest that our universe may be part of a series. The process doesn't rely on a single cause. Physicists and philosophers have also proposed the cosmic cycle, or the eternal model, believing that the universe is constantly expanding and running in a cycle of contraction. Thus, there's no need for a clear starting point. These viewpoints challenge the traditional interpretation of the British paradox in philosophy, suggesting that the universe may inherently be eternal, just maintaining its own nature. Another point of contention is the universal principle of causality, built on the concepts of time and space. Under extreme conditions of the universe's origin, the applicability of traditional cause and effect relationships still a subject of debate in the scientific community. This weakens the chain of causality. Need an argument for the ultimate explanation. All of these arguments, it all hinges on one crucial assumption: that if there is an ultimate reason, the Creator, because perceived as a being with personality and intelligence, similar to what we understand as deities. However, if this assumption does not hold true, the Creator or ultimate reality might not be a being with personality at all, but rather a more fundamental essence or law. Spinoza argues that the universe is a self-consistent entity. The laws of nature show its inherent order. For him, the essence of the universe is not some external force, but its own direct manifestation of rules and structure. Whether it's stars, star-spangled banners, or the ruling force of gravity, the natural laws of electromagnetic forces are all part of this essence of the universe. In other words, the simplicity of natural laws and the complexity of the universe have sparked deep reflections on the essence of existence in humans. In this viewpoint, the Creator is not the creation of mankind, but the eternal expression of natural laws. The laws of gravity and thermodynamics, quantum mechanics principles, and the consciousness of light are not just random rules, but a part of the origin of the universe. The universe operates according to these laws. Just like a beautiful piece of art, it's made up of the same internal order. Furthermore, the ideas of Spinoza have deeply influenced our understanding of time, space, and existence. Time is no longer just a sequence of moments ticking by. It's actually a fundamental part of the universe. All dimensions of existence are interconnected. From the birth of stars to the rise and fall of civilizations, it all reflects the unfolding of some natural order, rather than random events. It is precisely because of this that our lives should not be seen as mere chance, but as a part of this grand natural plan. Human thoughts, actions, and consciousness are intricately linked with the precise control of natural laws. By understanding these laws, we can truly understand on a deeper level our place and meaning in the universe. Spinderella's understanding of the universe gives existence a whole new sense of purpose and meaning. Since everything is a manifestation of nature's essence, then every moment of existence is filled with meaning. There's no need to search for another purpose beyond the universe. Living itself reflects the existence of nature, the actions of humanity. We're all connected to the evolving laws of the universe, you know? Science reveals the natural order of things. How do we shape the complexity of existence? And from there comes knowledge. The pursuit of knowledge transforms into a spiritual quest, delving into the mysteries of the cosmos, unraveling the laws of nature. The cosmic order, studying the universe, means tapping into that cosmic harmony, dude. This is what scientific exploration, exploring the stars and unraveling the mysteries of physics, helping humanity delve deeper into the essence of the universe. As our understanding of the cosmos grows deeper, our knowledge of the universe's essence also deepens. Science, philosophy, and spirituality are not separate pursuits. They are intertwined, paths to converse with the ultimate truth in many ways. The interconnectedness of all things in the universe. It also humbles the human heart. Since everything exists as part of the same essence of the universe, then humans are not the center of the universe, but just a small part. In this vast, interconnected system, our thoughts and existence are also bound by the same universal laws, which govern everything else in the universe. From this perspective, we're not separate from nature. It's about blending together. Understanding nature should be a given, in humility towards the cosmic order that rules behind all power. Humility and reverence, above all. Ultimately, the universe reflects the natural laws that underpin everything. There is no separation between the source and the phenomena, because everything is part of the same system. Natural laws, the structure of the universe, down to the behavior of particles, is all a reflection of the laws of nature. These laws make up the machinery of everything, transforming the universe into not just a random combination of matter and energy, but a unified whole governed by natural law. As we deepen our understanding of these laws, we will gradually uncover the true essence of the origin. The thoughts of Spinosaurus will also gradually reveal the truth. It's not just revolutionary in content. Its impact is equally profound. His perspective eliminates the need for personal intervention, relying on individual interference. For scientific and philosophical exploration of the natural world, it provides a new foundation. Spinoza, holistic philosophy, provides scientists with a fresh perspective on understanding the laws of nature. Like Einstein, for example, who used his thoughts to explore the rational essence of the universe. But he clearly stated that what he admired was the kind of existence that is the source of order and harmony. In fact, Einstein has repeatedly opposed the anthropomorphic concept of divinity. In a letter from 1929, he wrote, "I believe in Spinoza, who revealed the hierarchy of self-expression in existence, order and harmony." And in 1954 to philosopher Eric, in a letter from Guthrie today, he was more blunt. Some classic literature written by people with characteristics of early cultural legends. Einstein's spiritual foundation lies in reverence for the cosmic order and reason. This goes far beyond mere anthropomorphically based abstract concepts. Carl Sagan also championed this viewpoint. This renowned astrophysicist, as well as a popular science communicator, was deeply influenced by Spinoza's views on the universe and Einstein's philosophy. Sagan emphasized the interconnectedness of the cosmos and believed in the precision of natural laws, showcasing an awe-inspiring order. In his groundbreaking series of works, he expressed himself in poetic language. The universe is within us. We are made of stardust. We are the universe's way of understanding itself. For Sagan, the primordial is not a physical entity. Rather, it is a description of humanity, a profound connection with the universe. The idea that we are made of stardust reflects a scientific fact. The elements that make up us, they're all forged in the heart of a star. This cosmic heritage, connecting humanity to the vastness, the grand story of the cosmos, echoes Spinoza's idea of unity in everything, the concept of eternal entities, Sagan's notion of understanding oneself in the universe, can be seen as an extension of Spinoza's philosophy. Implies that through human consciousness, the universe, realizing who we truly are deep down inside. This perspective is crucial for scientific exploration, adding a spiritual dimension to it all. It's all about humanity's journey to understand the cosmos, seeing it as a reflection of the universe's inner self-awareness. Maybe whether it's Lennox's theories, Spinoza's philosophical framework, or Sagan's poetic descriptions of the cosmos. These debates about the essence of the universe really just show how diverse human thinking can be. Our interpretation of power and meaning is largely a reflection of the human longing for belonging and understanding. It's a manifestation of our quality. In the process of exploring the origins, we are actually chasing our innermost selves, a more authentic version. That is the core and essence of our existence. Just like Carl, Jung's shadow dances on the ceiling. Only those restless souls can emit such a shimmer of light. Jung is not just a scientist. He's also a soul explorer. He wanders through endless mental mazes, posing an eternal question. Why do we always strive to surpass ourselves? He believes that the ideals we hold and the stories we believe in are not mere fabrications. It reflects something deeper, man. It's rooted in the collective unconscious, you know? These archetypes aren't just in our minds. They shape how we see the world, dude. And they subtly influence how we search for meaning. Think about it, man. Picture this scene in your mind. You're standing on the edge of a vast, endless ocean, bro. Waves crashing in the distance. Beyond what the naked eye can see, man. And beneath this vast expanse of water lies a collective unconscious, both vague and mysterious, ancient and profound. According to Jung, this ocean is not without any order. It has a flow, movement, and a unique mindset. And those archetypes hidden in the depths are as graceful and hesitant as whales. Hard to see, but impossible to ignore. They represent the deep accumulation of human experiences. Like a mother, heroes, and even natural beings. Jung is not just sitting in an armchair, weaving dreams with hidden desires. His ideas come from his own life experiences, patience, and struggle. Once a woman came to him, describing a recurring dream. In her dream, a radiant light shone. It was as if a magical figure handed her a golden cup. He woke up drenched in cold sweat. His mind was full of questions, unsure of what this dream actually foreshadowed. For Jung, the golden cup was not just a prop in the dream. It was a symbol, a circular one. It might represent a pursuit of higher things, delving deeper into the human psyche, longing to tap into powers beyond ourselves, seeking meaning in the midst of chaos. He believed these archetypes reside in the heart of every individual, yet they also possess distinct personalities. They are not just floating, grand ideas in the universe, but are intricately connected to the depths of each person's heart. When people dream and talk about life, Rome, Greg doesn't see them as evidence of divine existence. He sees them as inner needs, desires, and manifestations of the search for meaning. You might ask, does this mean that Greg believes the Creator isn't real? Actually, no. For Greg, the key lies not in whether the Creator exists in some way. The objective reality exists. It lies in the meaning contained by the Creator. He proposed that natural phenomena may reflect archetypes in the collective unconscious, the process of symbolic intention for psychological integration. When people pray, meditate, or create stories about the Creator, they're actually seeking inner fulfillment and order, hoping to find a story that gives life meaning. Remembering all those stories we loved, whether ancient myths, superhero movies, or epic fantasy legends, they all share a common theme of the hero's journey. Heroes are often called upon by a power greater than themselves. They face various trials, battle against mysterious foes, and ultimately undergo a transformation. This is more than just a storytelling structure. It's a reflection of a circle. When we enjoy these stories, what we see isn't just heroes on screen. It's resonating with those who are constantly searching for meaning through self-reflection, pursuing inner growth. In other words, the gods we create and admire are a mirror of our inner selves. It's like the map that guides us forward. It tells us who we are and leads us to become our ideal selves. So, what about those scientists who doubt too much? They might seek truth from equations and data, believing there's no need for divine intervention. But Jung would argue, the pursuit of meaning is a universal human emotion. Even as we explore truth in the laboratory, that thirst for knowledge and meaning is also a path that leads to philosophical pondering, whether under the starry sky or within the confines of precise data. The call within our hearts is the same. For Jung, the human soul is much more than just electrical signals in the brain. It's a self-contained microcosm, filled with mystery and meaning. It's a whole universe in itself. One of his most personal explorations is reflected in the Red Book. This massive illustrated manuscript chronicles his dreams, visions, and inner reflections. In the book, he battles with symbolic gods and demons. These images are not external beings, but a part of his inner world. The process of creating the Red Book. Basically, he's searching for meaning. Try to connect the inner and outer, the journey of the world, looking at it from a broader perspective, a blend of ideas, challenging our definition of God in life. Maybe the gods we create don't necessarily point to some literal magical being, but might be a kind of calling, a relationship, or maybe it's a kind of faith. Anyway, everything we give lofty meaning to becomes our God to some extent. Just like a circle, these miracles can guide us forward, or they could devour our souls. The key isn't whether we create gods, but why we create them, and what these deities represent. It reveals the inner truths we hold. Through science, philosophy, and introspection, we can see concepts of God, actually exploring fundamental questions that enrich life. whether the universe created us, or we project our own spirits onto the universe. Some philosophers and scientists believe that the relationship between the existence of the universe and consciousness is still an unsolved mystery. It reflects our understanding of the world and our hopes for the future, as well as the eternal mystery of existence. For me, the Creator feels more like a tangible presence, rather than an entity that must prove its objective existence. The human quest to understand the essence of the universe involves solid scientific principles, as well as philosophical and diverse thoughts in art and other fields. For example, some philosophical systems emphasize the unbreakable interconnections in understanding the nature of the universe. This requires both scientific evidence and philosophical reasoning, like exploring philosophical theories on the interconnectedness of all things. When we truly understand, I'm not just a physical body. It's not just about thoughts. I am a part of that natural spirit. We will discover the eternal supreme truth has long been shining brightly in everyone's heart.